Hello, YouTube. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back. So today we're going to discuss something that's actually been requested, and we're going to do things a little bit differently based on some other requests. I've gotten a lot of requests for three particular things. One, a lot of people want to know more about the ACSS reticle that's on this Holosun HE07C X2 with the ACSS reticle. This comes in green, it comes in red. I have them on both, so we'll be looking at it. So that was request number one, because I have some strong feelings about this, and I guess from things I've said, it sparked some questions. Second, I was asked to please produce a short video. That is the reason you don't see a whole bunch of red dots out here. I'm not trying to do a big comparison video. I just want to discuss this particular red dot, we'll call it a dot, and why I think it's such a great thing to have. And then thirdly, I was asked to please show a little bit more of the Dr. Tactical lair or bunker. I don't actually have a name for this, but I like the idea of the names that were coming at me. I will accept some recommendations, please, in the comment section. While you're in there clicking on the subscribe and what have you, please throw out what you think we should call the tactical lair or tactical bunker or whatever you may have in mind. Anyway, those are the three requests. So we're going to try and keep this short, so I'm going to keep the talking to a minimum, but I want to get some information out to you. One thing that I am going to say is we are slowly approaching our 1,000 mark. We still have a ways to go. But one video that we are saving until we hit our 1,000 subscriber mark is really going to be something special. You know what? I was going to give a little hint on it today, but I'm going to wait until we get a little bit closer to that mark. I promise you, it'll be epic. All right, now on to this very long named red dot. Before we take a look through the optics on these beautiful staccatos, the XC and the C2, I want to point out a couple things. When you're using a red dot, and again, like saying red dot, you're going to see these are more than just simply red dots, but you are supposed to focus on the target that you're aiming at. Unlike with the iron sights, where you line everything up and then you focus on the front sight while the target itself stays blurry, with the red dot, your goal is to focus on the target with both eyes open and the dot goes to the target. That works great with your eyes. With a camera, this is a little more complicated. It wants to focus on whatever it's focusing on, and the red dot is probably not going to be its primary focus. So I'll have to describe a little bit with what we're seeing. So the reason we have the two staccatos is we have this red dot in red and in green. So let's take a look first at the red. And that's not terrible. So what you're seeing is a circle around, actually technically a chevron. That's not a dot. Now when we come over to the green, it looks fat, but it's not. It's just the, let me see if I can focus it on the, there we go. Okay, so you can see the green with the chevron in the middle of it. Now, we've all seen these on rifles, and some handguns have the circle dot. That is not what this is. That circle is really just there. Basically, I've heard it called training wheels, because see how close I am to these guns right now? If I pull back to where I should be, the circle actually goes away. And all that's left is the chevron. And that, my friends, is why this is so beautiful. Because if you have trouble finding your dot and you're a little bit off and the dot isn't in the screen, you see this circle and you know if you pull that circle towards its center, you're going to find the dot. Same thing in the red. If you're a proper distance away. Now I see a lot of people commenting saying it's too busy. There's too much in the in the field of view. But it shouldn't be the case. That simply means you're not extended out far enough. That big circle really shouldn't even be in play unless you're having difficulty centering your dot or finding your dot. Now, Regular red dots that just have a dot out there, no matter whether it's a 6 MOA or a 1 MOA, if you don't see the dot, you're what we call, the clinical term is SOL. And it takes time to find that dot. You have to figure out where you're even off, and hopefully you have backup sites that may help you a little bit. But with this, if you don't see your dot, all you just move around a little bit and that big circle comes into play, and you immediately intuitively know what direction to move it into. And that is why I absolutely love this. So we'll talk a little bit more about it. So the chevron in the middle has properties that help you to establish bullet drop compensation for handgun loads, and that's great. I don't know that I find that useful for handguns. I haven't. Of course, when I play golf, the flag placement doesn't affect me either. So I with rifles, I find that these indicators make a big difference. But for the handgun, I love the chevron. You put the chevron basically where you're hitting. You got alphas. It's a beautiful thing. I did promise to keep this video short, and I'm going to stay with that. So, people see a gun like a Staccato, they see a Holosun on it, they immediately, say, hey, that's a cheap Chinese optic. First of all, it's a wonderful optic. I am concerned about the Chinese looking through it, but, I can only handle so many things at once. And it, I think, has the best optic out there. And, a lot of my friends who are a little on the snobby side, you guys know who you are. When it comes to optics, a lot of them are actually starting to embrace this and put it on their guns too, because it is a great, yes, if you train, every time you pull it up, you should find your red dot without a problem. That's great. But you know what? In a crisis situation or a competition situation, when that damn buzzer goes off and you lose your mind, having the ability to find that dot like that is just a huge advantage. And why in God's name would anybody not want that advantage? You can call it training wheels, but you know what, if I had training wheels that didn't slow me down on a bike or anything, I would use them. Anything that gives us that advantage in the competition edge or in the self-defense edge. So I think that it's a really wonderful tool. All right, this may be a record for me on short videos. I'm happy to cut it here. I do look forward to hearing back from everybody. Please like and subscribe. I want to hit that 1,000. I really want to show you guys what I've been working on. It's sort of a science experiment, but it is a science experiment gone very interesting. All right, YouTube. Thank you. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical, out.